All right, we got another Opus power station right here. These things are amazing. I have a bunch of these. Okay, I think I have 4 of them. Here's another example of one right here. They're big dog. This is their 2232 watt hour version. This one we use as actual for power outages in the house. And I think I have 2 more. I have one a little smaller than that powers my entire workstation as a backup battery system. And then we have the one in the trailer that I use all the time. I have one in the truck that I use to power things. These things are incredible. This is their new Mega. This one, as we unbox it, we will do a bunch of, we're going to test the crap out of this thing, but this one has got some pretty cool features. We get our bag of connectors in here, which also includes Anderson connectors in there. So you got your Anderson plugs inside of there as well too. So you have that set up. You have your owner's manual here. We have foam. They package these things so well. They do such a good job with these things. And this is it. They're mega. Like mini Mega Godzilla kind of thing is what we're talking about. Anything else in there? Nope, just more padding. And like I said, they beef these things up. So this is that little gem right here. Check that out. This one here is 1,024 watt hours, as you can see. Pure sine. Now, this one here is it's got some really unique features. Look at the size difference alone of this, okay? This is a pretty lightweight, very, very light, nothing to it weight-wise. Very simple, super strong, robust build in the design with the handles there. Love the setup. I mean, you look at that compared to this one, size-wise and weight. Oh, this is a beast, okay? This thing is a heavy beast. Great setup. This one made for portability. This one is designed to be portable, functional, and used for whatever you need to, and mobile. Now, because of knowing that and what they're doing with this, there are some neat features. This is a 2,000 watt pure sine inverter in here with a 4,500 watt surge. That's huge. Massive power coming out of this thing, so it's very good. Now, the key to this one, this Mega, what makes this thing so sweet with the Mega setup, now you also have Anderson inputs on this, okay? Inside of here, you got Anderson actual plugs on this. Ugh, there we go. But you got actual Anderson hookups for charging. This thing will charge from dead to full in 36 minutes. If you are somebody who uses them in camp or uses them in a vehicle, you don't understand. You will understand the power of that, how important that is. 36 minutes max charge time on this thing. You can charge this thing in 36 minutes. Even when I'm in camp and I'm running everything silent off of this and battery systems and these Opus units, the ability to, halfway through a 7-day camping trip, plug my Champion little suitcase generator into this thing and charge this up that quick, boom, just like that, and I'm good for another 4, 5, 6 days without a problem. Hard to beat that. So it's a beautiful system. We'll dive into this thing in full and cover everything in detail. This is just the unboxing portion. We're going to get this dude charged up. We're going to hook it up to like my Iceco fridge. We're going to run that thing and see how long it does, and then we're going to recharge it and see how long it does. We're going to put this thing through the ringer, but you got all of your amazing features on here. You got 4 high output USB chargers on here. You got USB-C. You got 4 120 volts and a DC volt, and you got your 2, I can't remember what they call those, but you guys that know stuff probably know what that is. I just can't remember the name of them, but you got everything that you need in this little simple system. I will put all the specs in here as we're going, but I'm telling you, this thing weighs nothing. It is so light, and the size and shape of this would be very easy to sit in your back seat, put it in your tailgate or in the bed of your truck, in the back of your SUV, and power everything. So, let's dive into it. Stick around. All right, well, there it is right there. That is that's the Mega 1 from Opus, Mega 1. And it is a pretty sweet system. Here you can see their original, the first one I ever got from them. This one here, their 1200 watt and 992 watt hour unit. And we just got back from doing our month-long camping trip, and I had this running in my camp for everything that I had to charge. All my GoPro batteries, if you watch any of my hunting videos, you've seen this whole thing be running and set up to run all that stuff. Maybe I'll put a short little clip in here for you, but worked like a champ and did a fantastic job. Now, the Mega 1 is now out. 1,024 watt hour versus 992 watt hour, but we get some pretty major upgrades with this. Here, if you notice, we have 2 USBs, USB 3.0 USBs. Here we have 4 of them. Here we have two PW 140 watts on here, okay, which are sweet little units. These little USB-Cs that we got on here. Here we have two 100 watt ones, okay, so you do drop a little bit there, but you gain all these two extra ports there. Here we have three 120s. Here we have four 120s. Here we got 12 volt. Here we got 12 volt, both 10 amp, and then there's your two, I can't remember what they call those ports, but there they are right there for you too. So now this one is also 100% pure sine 2000 watt inverter. This is 1200 watts. This is also up to 4500 watt surge. This thing is a beast, and look at the size difference. Okay, not much difference. And if you look at it this way, look at how much wider this one is versus this little dude right here. So this thing is super sweet. We'll give you the specs on it, then we're going to run it. So let's set it up first. Let's get it running. So this is my hunting trailer setup here. This goes with me on my trips when I'm gone for a month. This freezer right now has got 2 deer in it, full of deer meat. We're waiting for it to thaw out a little bit so we can process them. That one's got frozen water bottles. This is my Bogue RV, or however you say it. Okay, people give me crap. I know it's something different, but I'm calling it Bogue RV. If they wanted it named something different or easier to say, they should have named it different. But I love this Rocky 40. This is a 40 fridge right here. I use it as a fridge. We got a frozen water jug in there. But I use it as a fridge, and you can use it as a freezer, multitask it. What we are going to do in here, when I'm gone for so long and I need to run all of this stuff, plus lights, plus all my other stuff that I run in camp and everything like that, I need a little more than one of these. I run it on this huge battery system. We're going to turn that on for a second, just because then I can turn my light on in here. So we'll fire up that. That's going to give me access to this light. And now we got light in here. And that also turns the fridge on, which we are set at 64 degrees. You can see right there. What we are going to do is we are going to unplug this fridge from here. Okay, now our fridge is unplugged. And we are going to connect that, and then we'll talk specs, but we are going to connect that to this Mega right here. Pull this dude over here. And we're going to plug this into this, and we're going to see how long it's going to run. So we're just going to go ahead and plug it right into there. We're going to turn this baby on. Hold for 3 seconds. Bam. Okay, here it is. Now we turn on the AC button. We're at 100%, but so you can turn on your DC section, your AC. You got your DC outlet there, but we turn this on, boom. Okay, and it just hit, and that is now on. Watch the lights, boom, turns on right there. We are set. What do we set at on here? Where's my specs on here? Hang on, let me grab my little flashlights. We're going to see we're going to set that at, 'cause we're going to time this. Let me see here. Hang on. What are we at? We're going to leave it right at 32 degrees. Put it right at 32 degrees. Okay, we are in South Georgia. Okay, temperature, I am in shorts. Okay, temperatures are in their 70s and 80s still here. And we are in a very hot trailer. So this is very extreme conditions. We're going to see how long this thing says it can go for. It just fired up. It's pulling 40 watts. It's saying 17 hours. We're going to see what this can do over time. Again, it's got to get, once it gets cooler, it'll settle in. But we're going to see. Now, if we take, I grabbed my wife's phone out of here so that we can see, because I'm recording on mine, but so we can give you an actual real time. So if we click this, you can see right there, 3:25 on Friday, November 21st. Okay, that's where we're at 100%. Okay, 3:25, November 21st. We will do this. This is how I will be able to show you when that thing actually goes down. So what do we got spec-wise on here? Well, you also have, on this amazing unit here, like I said, we have 4 120s. We got the DC. You got your 4 USBs, 2 USB-Cs on here. You got a Wi-Fi button up there. Everything is set up pretty good. You have all of your connections here, which you can run your Anderson connections. You have a circuit breaker right there. If the circuit breaker for the AC goes out, you can reset it real simple by pushing it. You have your power cord here. Okay, you can also run another battery connected in on this port right here and connect another battery to this. So if I wanted to connect these two together, I could do that. Or connect it to one of my bigger ones. Or connect this to that. Or do anything I want to do, I can. Now, what do we got spec-wise on this thing? Okay, we showed you the batteries. We got that kind of stuff on here. But general dimensions and specs on this amazing little unit right here. All right, so we have... for the AC, we are a max of 2,000 watts with a 4,500 watt surge that we talked about. You have the USB-A setup at 18 watt max. You have the USB-Cs at 100 watt max. You have Looking on here, battery capacity is 10,000 or 1,024 watt hours out of this thing. It is a LiPo 4 battery, so we know that. And working temperature 32 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Storage temperature -4 to 140. And dimensions of this thing are 15.1 by 9.1 by 11.6 inches. What a super slick, again, such a narrow, simple, beautiful double handle. Again, that's a great system too, but the thickness or the narrowness and the size of this thing is amazing. So we have that set up on here, and this weighs 27.8 pounds. So figure 28 pounds for this unit. So very, very light, very simple, very capable. 36-minute charge. We will test that. So when we are done with this and we have been through this test, and you can see it's already cooling that fridge down really fast. Okay, went from 68 to 61. It's doing its job here. We're going to let this run until it's out of power. And we'll come back and keep checking it. And we will be able to see where we're actually at and how long it takes. But this is a beast of a machine. Okay? So if I step down here, you can still see it running back there. We're talking about something that can power everything. Matter of fact, let me kill this. I don't need this on right now, so we can kill that down. But that's just running the freezers and that light up there. But in camp, having power like this is important. Even if you are on just a standard driving trip and you're going to go somewhere and you're going to go cruising around, having this ability to run a fridge like that, a fridge or freezer in your car, is vitally important, and these are the way to do that kind of stuff. You could put this in the bed of your truck and have it set up to run that. You could run this Bogue RV one. You can run any of them. Let me show you. You can see right down here, we got another one right here. I got an ice cold fridge right here. We take that with us every time we take Tina's truck somewhere. We go do something, and I use one of those Opus power stations to run this. So you can have that and run these things anytime you want to. You can use them for so many different purposes. I mean, obviously, running electronics is one of them. When I am in my hunting trips and I am at hunting camp, I use them in my tents all the time to power all of my charging stuff. I have YouTube channels. I create content for a living. I need to be constantly charging camera batteries, GoPro batteries, backup battery systems to use when I'm in the field. All these things have to be running, lights, all that stuff, charging constantly. Those battery bank systems like that, they work incredible. As you guys know, in the back of my truck, I'll show you. Right here in the back of my truck, running right now. You can hear it purring away. Okay, got the Bodega fridge going right here, running here. I have mine actually hooked up to a battery as a permanent system that's always in here and running, but it would be very easy to run this fridge off of one of those Opus power stations tucked up there in the front. Plugged right in. Here I got my own charging system. I got this one kind of permanently mounted in here, but it would be very easy to run this stuff off of one of those dedicated sources like that Opus system. These things aren't crazy. They're just insane what you can do with them. And that thing being 1,000 watt hours, over 1,000 watt hours, it's equivalent to a 100 amp, it's more than 100 amp hour LiPo 4 battery, which those things put out massive power. You don't understand the power that you're getting in one of these little stations. Give you an example. We come back over here in my garage. We'll walk over here, pop this open real quick and take a peek. All kinds of crap going on in here, testing things, but here we have right here, what do we got? We got a 100 amp hour, 1280 watt battery, Power Queen battery, charging right now. Should be full, off. Yep, it's done. We can unplug that. But I use these things for all kinds of stuff. That charging station that we have in there is bigger than this is. This one, this is basically the same kind of watt power, the same kind of power that we're getting out of it. All of these ports, 36-minute recharge from empty to back to full. Okay, built inside, pure sine inverter, everything in this whole entire package, and it only weighs like 6 pounds or more, and it's all in this one contained unit right there. Pure brilliance on every kind of level. A little bit of air coming out of there, nice. This thing, like I said, and look at where you're 51 on the fridge, cooking away. We're going to let this thing roll. Let's touch it to see where we're at. Okay, still going. Now it's at 57 watts usage, 57, 58. We're going to let it go and do its thing, and we'll come back and check it and see where we're at. We're still at 100%. We'll see how long this will run, this huge fridge. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, look at this. Put that in perspective. This is a huge refrigerator, okay? There's a lot of space in this thing. That's a gallon jug. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of room in this fridge here. Biggest one I have. We're at 49. Let's see how these things do and what they combine with. We'll come back and check them. It's been about 2 hours. Just came in, just checked it. We says we got 17. Says we're not even putting out any major output power here. That is because this thing is working really well. So it's not running that compressor as much. You can see we're at 35 degrees in here. It's doing its thing. But it says we got 17 hours. Again, that is because of the fact that this isn't working the compressor right now. When the compressor does, it pulls more watts. When the compressor's off, it doesn't. So we will keep going and seeing. But there it is, a couple hours in, still showing 17 hours. We'll be back to check on it. We're going to let it just keep right on running. All right, just popped in to take a look, and it is 92%. Still not running very hard because the compressor is not on right now. 35 degrees, still holding there, 14.4. We got 16 hours left, it says. And it is currently 5:45 p.m. as we are doing this. I don't remember what time I started it, but this is just a little insert. We will keep you posted. All right, let's see what we're doing here time-wise. Got a flashlight in my mouth. We got time-wise. Right there, 7:15, same day. I don't know what time we started this. We are still running 35 degrees on there. What happens is this is set at 32. So it'll go to 32. Compressor will kick it on, get it to 32. When it gets down to about 35, 36, it'll fire itself back up again and work. But it is still chewing right away in there. Everything is fine. Let's go and see where we're at on here. Let's see. Let's touch this. 87%. So we're just flying right along, doing just fine. And again, I just showed you what time that is. I don't know what time we started it. I'm making like 5 different videos on a whole bunch of things. I got this going. I got the Hikari, what's it called? The diesel heater running out there and timing that one, and that's cooking away. And I got all kinds of stuff happening here. So we will check back very, very soon. And, we'll just keep checking it a little later on to see. But I got a feeling we're going to get some pretty serious hours out of that. And that's pretty dang impressive. So we're just rocking that away over here. Like I said, I got the diesel heater running over here. We're doing a test on that, which is also right here cooking away. Running a Hikari. We're running a full-blown test on that. But which is also running on the other Opus right there. Running on that, so it's powering that. I have that tub over it in case it rains tonight because we're running that run all night. Been going for about 4 hours. I think we're at like 80%. Still not even to 80% yet. On full max power on that thing, screaming away. So lots of tests going. But of all those tests, like I said, Opus is running everything we got going on out here. So we will keep you posted. All right, well, it's next morning. We just came out. It looks like it's off. Let's see what's going on here. Did we lose it? Let's see here. Oh, it turned off. It just actually turned off. Sometime through the night, it's actually turned off. That's interesting. We're only 56%, but it actually turned off. If we hit AC, oh, we're still at 34, so it must have just happened. Because, I mean, it's still holding 34 perfectly. So, for some reason, recently, like probably within the last hour or so, because it's still at 34 degrees, that's pretty interesting. I mean, like I said, it's still right there. So, it's not like it got warm. Remember, we're in South Georgia. It's 80 degrees. I'm in shorts right now. It's hot. So it's very interesting that for some reason it shut itself off last night just a little bit ago for some reason. Not sure what that's about, but we are still running 56%. What time is it? And again, we have not lost a second of temperature, not 1 inch of temperature there. And we are 9:46 on the next morning, and it is still purring right along. But I do, like I said, that is interesting that it turned itself off for whatever reason. It had to be, I would imagine it had to be within the last hour or two for that to be at 34 degrees still. So, but found that interesting, but it's showing we're 56%. We're going to leave it as that little hiccup and let it be what it is, and we're going to see what it does. We'll keep coming back and checking on it. All right, it's dark out, coming back in. I think it's a little after 6 o'clock where we're at, sitting at 35, perfect, as we see on the Bogue RV thing. And let's see where we're at on here. And we'll hit this. 25% perfect right there. Says we got 4 hours. Obviously, we got way more than 4 hours to go because it's been going for a long time. I think it started at like 17 and it's been like 30 hours or something already. Here's what time it is. And right there, 6:16, on Saturday. So I don't know how many hours that is, but we do not let these things drop down. I do not let any batteries go too super low. I want to keep them. I don't want to take them all the way down to totally dead discharge. So we are stopping this at 25%. We are killing this process right now. Watch this. Turning off AC. Unplugging. And our fridge is now dead. Okay, so that is now done. Now we're going to take this thing and we're going to go recharge it. And we're going to turn it off. Turn it right off. Let's see. Watch. It'll say off. Boom. Off. We are at 25%. We're going to see how long it takes to actually recharge this thing back to 100%. We're going to go set that up right now and get that running. But like I said, I know some people are like, well, why didn't you take it all the way down to zero? Taking any battery down to zero is a bad idea. There's no good idea. There's no good solution or purpose that comes from taking any battery down to zero. It's just a bad thing to do. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's not good. So we're going to take this one right here, grabbing a power station. And we are sliding out of here. And we're going to go set this up together. Be right back with you. As you see, we got it in here. We have it set. We are going to get this thing fired in and charging. We got a stopwatch on there here. So we're just going to take and plug it in. Plugging it right in the wall. Bam. So there that is. That should kick in and start charging. Boom, there it is. We're going to hit the start. And we will see what it takes to get to 100. You can see the input watts climbing, climbing, climbing. You can see how quick it's going. You can see the drop down on here. It should be well under 30 minutes because we've still got 25% left. See, that's still climbing, 100 watts. Or 1 hour. See, it's still going. I don't think that'll go below 1. Let's look at this thing. Look at 54 minutes. It's screaming right along. 900. And look at this. Now you can hear it a little bit. Fan blowing. You can hear it running. I'm sure that might have been important. I don't know. Was that important? We suggest charging a battery every 3 months. This will keep it, extend the life to it. That's what that was telling you. Very important tips. Look at 30. Look at 1,400 almost. We're at 1,400, 1,355 watts input on this thing. 30 minutes is getting down there. Look at 27% already. This is the beauty of it. Understand that if you're using these things to charge everything, okay, you can use these things to charge your stuff in camp. You can use them to charge your tools on the job site. You can use them for remote work. You can use them to party your tailgate parties. You can use them to charge your e-bikes and your e-scooters and all your stuff that you got to use. The beauty of it is with this one, this charge time is so quick and so good. You can recharge it from your power here. You can recharge it from solar. I could literally recharge it like I was doing with that one you see back here. The other Opus you see right here. This one that I was using in camp. I did not have this one yet, but I used that one for a month in camp. And the one time I had to recharge it, I just plugged it right into that Champion generator right there. And ran that for about an hour and just topped that thing right off. It works really good. So these things are fantastic setups and systems to use. Using them for even a diesel heater. Just got done reviewing that diesel heater. Okay, these things are vitally important. And this thing is screaming along at 1,390, almost 1,400 watts going in on this thing with just AC plug. And it's cooking right along. So we'll see what this thing's at. We'll be back with you in just a few. All right, you see we're about 16 minutes in. Where are we at? 63%. Look at how fast that's going. 16 minutes left. This thing is spot on and rocking. We love it. All right, look at that. We're at 81%. We're 24 minutes in. It's like right on track. We have slowed down a little bit from the 1,400 watts down to about 1,100 watts right now of input that we're seeing on there. But what that means is it not only does it charge fast, but like I said, I can charge that because we never spiked over 2,000 watts of incoming power. Means I can charge that thing from any one of these generators, from this big generator down here, these little suitcase generators, to off of other batteries that I have, to whatever I want to do. We can actually charge this thing from it. I can probably charge this off another one of these. So, and even that watt cycle, that big battery I have in my trailer that I showed you, that huge setup that we have in there. So this is a beautiful system. My God, look at how fast this is giving me all that power back. Love it. So you can see it's starting to wind down because it's getting closer to the end. So its input is starting to slow. as we're doing it here for this last little bit here on there, which is typical. Normal, it's controlling itself. It doesn't want to overdo it. So it's starting to slow itself down as we got above 80%, but just rocking right along, cooking along. We're just watching it. We're burning some leaves and some debris here from cleaning the yard and enjoying a little bit of a fire and just letting it happen. But like I said, you could use anything. Let me show you. Hold on. Now, for you guys that are into solar, you could also use solar, but I could also use this big beast of a battery right here from Watt Cycle, this 628 amp hour, 8,000 watt hour. This would recharge that thing 8 times this battery pack alone, but I could just simply plug that thing into here. So when I'm in camp and that thing actually starts to die out and go down, which this is how I can run a lot of these different things in here, but I could plug right into that and recharge that thing in 30 minutes. How cool is that, that I could have that thing back up and running in 30 minutes? They're just cooking away. So as far as I'm concerned, this system right here, this is my favorite Opus unit that I have. And like I said, we have 4 of these things now. And I love every one of them. The other ones, the bigger ones, like I said, use them for home backup battery systems for when the power goes out. It saves my wife from having to come in here and grab one of these generators and then hook up all the, fill it full of gas, which we keep all our gas cans here, but saves her from having to do any of that kind of stuff. She simply plugs into the one of these that we have in the house. If that power outage is going to be more than 8 or 10 hours, then it's going to be time to have to come and grab a different one, or I have some other battery systems in there that she can use before we got to get to generators. But these things are worth their weight in gold. I straight up love having these power stations, having the battery banks. They're just built tough as nails, and this is so much packed into one little unit here. I will never not have one of these in camp. Here's a little of that. What are they? I don't even remember what they call that stuff for you, but here you go. Ready? It is official. There it is right there. And what are we hitting at? 86%. But look, see how the wattage is slowing down? That's a protection, a built-in protection on the inside of this thing that's going to do that for it so that it can actually, so it doesn't hurt the battery system. This thing has got so much overload protection, circuit breaker protection, trip breakers there. Now, if you were to also plug into the Anderson connection on here and actually run it that way, I think that's how you get the full 2,000 watts of power in. And it probably tells you all that in here. You have these other connections in here. Here's the Anderson plugs. So they give you all that stuff. That's the trailer plug. But like I said, Mega 1, 2,000 watt with a 4,500 watt surge. 2,000 watts with 4,500 watt surge. And it is pure sine inverter in this thing, in this power station. What a beast of a machine. We will check it when we hit 100 and let you see where we're at to finish it off. You can see it's slowing down even more. We're almost at 90%, slowing down the wattage again to protect things. But taking this thing from 25 to 75% was like instantaneous. And that's amazing. That gave you a lot of power, 50% more power. That is a beautiful thing in the way this charges. But these are also nice like that one. We take that one, again, I didn't have this one yet. This one is 2,000 watts. Power, that's 1,200 watts. This is 1024 watt hours of use. That's 992. Look at the size of this versus the size of that one. This one here, a little taller, but so much smaller in size than that. Love this unit, but we have used this one before. When we take the e-bikes, me and my wife, when we go down to the beach and we run the e-bikes on the beach, this is her Magicycle right here. That's her bike. And then this is my Cyrusher hunting bike. And then this is my other one, my folding hay bike that I use, that we just got, that we're going to set up with a milk crate on there, but it folds, so I don't need to take a bike rack. And then I got my awesome scooter right here, dual wheel drive. This thing does 50 miles an hour. Thing is insane. But when we take these with us, we go do beach rides and we hit the beach towns and we go cruise around with these things. We can get out there and spend the whole day, but we can run half of the day and then come back to the truck where we're going to eat lunch at and stuff. And literally, I can plug them into one of these, and while we're eating lunch, and they will fully recharge. It'll give us whatever it'll top them off, and we're good to go. And then if we want to stay the night in a hotel and then ride the next day, we have that power right there to charge these without having to bring them into the hotel room. I can literally plug them into this in the bed of my truck, having this in there and having these on the bike rack and plug into these things and recharge those batteries that easy. Or take the batteries off and plug them on the inside. But it gives you versatility. These things are so versatile. Look, we just hit 90%. See, we're dropping down to 400s. It is doing that on purpose, protecting itself. Beautiful, beautiful system. We're at 32 minutes in. It said 38 minutes, I think, is what it said for full charge, if it could get to max 2,000 watts. I knew we wouldn't get a max of 2,000 watts input through a 120 volt through my setup that we have here, but we are crushing it and doing a fantastic job. This is old school stuff here where I'm at here. This is, I mean, this, my whole shop is powered basically by, you know, just a simple, these two cords right there that are buried that run to my house. There's no separate fuse box. I live at, my house is 125 years old. The technology here is a lot simpler. But like I said, this thing working like a champ and getting it done and cruising right along. But you can see it's starting to slow down even more as we get closer to that top off point. That is all protection for the battery system. Other uses for these too, because they are BPS or whatever they, whatever those numbers are in here, that again, things that I don't understand, all that technical mumbo jumbo, but you guys do. But whatever it's got as far as whatever it is, there's something on here that you guys understand that I don't, but basically emergency backup system in this thing. But what it does is it kicks on super quick. So many, how many megaseconds or whatever it says on this thing, however it does it, I don't remember, but they're really good for that. In the fact that you can run medical equipment off of these. Like you can run a CPAP machine off of here. You can use them for a backup system to a CPAP machine and leave your CPAP plugged into this. Power goes out in the middle of the night, you won't even know it. Your CPAP and everything runs through this. My dad used this one here for his CPAP backup when we had hurricanes. It was hurricane season, he would use this. And then even for the battery stuff, as a matter of fact. When my dad passed and we sold his house, we had his house for sale, the power was out, it was sold, it was waiting on closing, but we went over there to clean it up. We had to blow leaves and stuff out of there. We brought these batteries, which work for my blower. This is my DeWalt blower right here, but they work on batteries. But I brought that, and they only last a half hour on that thing, but I brought that, the batteries, and these chargers, and this one over there. And while we were running one battery in, we had the two chargers going, and we were charging them off of this on the job site because we had no power there. So many versatile uses. Same with my weed whacker, same with everything. Cannot emphasize enough the value of these systems. We are at 92% UFC. We are already below 400. It is going to, this last little bit is going to take quite a bit of time. And that is because of the voltage protection, the battery protection. It can't just go full bore 2,000 watts for the whole entire thing, or it'll just burn itself out. It has to control itself. So, like I said, you're going to fly. We were like 20 minutes or whatever it was, you'll see, to get up there quite a bit. This last little bit is going to just take a few more minutes, as you can see. All right. We are almost 40 minutes in. We are almost going to be at 95% by 40 minutes here. You can see it slowing itself down even more, 275. I can even hear the fan going down. It is going to trickle itself up for the last little bit. Here's just going to go. You can see it raise the numbers here. That last 5% is going to take its time. Might even get down even lower. So we're not going to sit here and wait for that. We're going to end this video here. But as you can see, this thing recharges to a usable amount in a very quick time. I took it from 25% up to whatever it was, 75% in just like, what was it, 10 minutes? I'll look at the video and see what that timestamp is and put it below here for you. But impressive. Wicked, wicked impressive with what we're getting out of this thing. So there it is for you. This is the Opus Mega 1, 2,000 watts, pure sine inverter with a 4,500 watt surge. This generator, these here, are 2,500 watt with 4,000 watt surge. Okay, this one down here is a 3,500 watt with 4,500 watt surge, this big one. Okay, these are impressive generators, and this thing here has got the same kind of power out of it. Straight up amazing. So there you go. Any questions, comments, let me know. We'll have the link to this down below for you and in the description, and I'm sure they got some pretty good deals still going on, so check them out. Thanks for watching.